Hello, best friend. Welcome back to my channel. I first wanted to say thank you all so much for all your love and your support. This video is going to be a little bit different because I have practically opened up a huge can of worms, opening up about my best friend being missing for almost now 3.5 years. I have not really spoken about this in the past. As you guys can tell, I have a little anxiety even talking about it now. But I wanted to clear some things up because I have been receiving some messages and seeing comments basically saying like, I don't want to find her. I don't want to be cooperative. I'm, making this whole thing up for attention. So many things. So I wanted to kind of clear some things out. Um, the first thing I want to say is, so one of the questions that I will answer is, did she go missing, or is she we lost touch? Like I explained, we did not have any issues. We were great. Another thing is, is her family currently looking for her? I talk to her family very once in a while. I do get updates sometimes, or they'll ask me questions if she's reached out to me. She has not. I trust that her family's doing everything. The last time I spoke to her mother, she let me know that they were doing everything to, to find her, to talk to her. There's a lot more that, I don't feel comfortable sharing because it is regarding mental health, and it's regarding, things like that. I think one of the things also that I wanted to answer was, they asked me, when was the last time I saw her? Last time I saw her was 3.5 years ago. It was Thanksgiving, and yeah, that was the last time. So yeah. Why did I bring it up now? The reason I brought it up now is my aunt's passing has completely given my mental health a 180, a 360-degree turn, girl. I mean, it feels like a roller coaster that's never ending. And for the past 3.5 years, I have been silently grieving my friend, but also having hopes that, I'm gonna find her and she's gonna, we're gonna reunite together. So I wanted to kind of open up about a few things, answer some questions. One thing also that I wanted to answer was if her and I were in a big argument, or did she ghost me or something. That's also something I got a lovely email saying that the reason why she disappeared. Let me just tell you something, okay? My friendship with her was so amazing. We shared everything. We, at some point we were like, freaking twins, Mary Kay and Ashley Olsen. I mean, we would talk every day. We would have the same inside, jokes. We would, go to the movies. I would embarrass her. I mean, so many beautiful things that we shared. And the last time I saw her was a magical day that, I'm going to share with you guys in a future video. But it was a beautiful day. It was on Thanksgiving. And it was absolutely a beautiful conversation, a beautiful location. We had laughter. We had, moments of opening of our hearts, of our souls. And we made plans, and so that's why I know I was not ghosted, or she hated me or anything, because there were plans made, there were hugs, there were excitement, there was, just, it was a beautiful last day I saw her, right? And so, yeah, there was no drama. The reason I'm doing most of my best friend conversations on my members only was because I wanted to avoid haters coming into the conversation. So I'm kind of regretting it already because I've been seeing some very foul messages. So the first thing I want to say is that my best friend and I had a connection like no other. I absolutely loved her. I'm also going to just kind of put a parentheses, and I posted a community post last night saying basically that, moving forward, obviously I'm not going to ever give any private details regarding names and, you know, any private things that can be disrespectful towards her family and her. And that caused quite the stir. And when I say private information, it you know, it doesn't mean my story. I'm going to share with you guys my story, but I also don't think it's fair to put in this platform people's names. And I'll tell you why in a second. So I've been told to talk to other YouTubers, crime investigators, you know, this and that. I have to say this. I have been in contact with the family throughout the past 3 years, very sporadically. Last time I checked, they also don't know where my friend is. And you know, for the past 3.5 years, last time I saw my best friend was on Thanksgiving Day, 3.5 years ago. And I've been quiet about this. I've been obviously on social media. I have not mentioned this because I've always had the hope that my best friend was going to just call me out of the blue and say, "Hey, bitch, I'm here. Like, I needed some alone time." And I always knew that if that day came, because I obviously I was hurt. I am hurt that, you know, she completely disappeared on me like this. And obviously it's part of a that's a little part of like the big feelings I have. I'm hurt. I'm devastated for her family. I miss her. I have nostalgia of our friendships. I almost every day want to call her. I want to share so many things with her. Anytime a milestone happens, I want to involve her. But I will say this is that, you know, I know that the family has done everything that they can to, you know, to find her. One thing that I do want to make very clear is I think I've talked about this, but I want to just end it here saying I am not giving any information out because that I find to be disrespectful. It's not that I don't want her to be found. I have to trust that her family is doing everything, and I have to trust that, you know, that's it. I don't have any say in this, right? I am opening up about this because I got to heal from this, you know, regardless what her reason is or where she is or if she's even alive, I don't know. But I have to heal. It's been 3.5 years and I have to heal because this has been one of the biggest heartbreaks of my whole entire life, her disappearance. So I'm talking about it because of that. I'm not interested in going to podcasts. I'm not interested in talking to forensics. I'm not interested in none of that. I have to trust that her family knows what they're doing. And I'm going to have to do what I need to do, which is heal, which is think of the wonderful memories and close this chapter because it's been open this whole time because I've been praying and hoping that she will randomly, magically contact me. So it has been a very big long 3.5 years where I've wished so much that she would just reach out, but I have to close this chapter now, and that is why I'm talking about it. I'm opening up about this because, you know, talking to my therapist, I realized that I have so much inside of me that I have not been able to express so many feelings, you know, from my brother and now my aunt, and, you know, grieving someone that I don't know if is alive or not is it's a mind fuck. And I owe it to myself to also heal. There's nothing more I would want for my best friend to be alive and to reach out to me. I've had very bad luck with best friends, to be honest with you. Our connection that we had was so special. I just remember, you know, throughout my YouTube in the beginning, she was so fucking supportive and with real life stuff, always there. We would talk on the phone every day. You know, we spent COVID on the phone together, basically. My heart is broken. You know, my first best friend ever, her name was Jessica. I met her in middle school and we became inseparable. We talked on the phone every single day. We were she went with me for my first date at the movie theater with this guy from the rival school. He was a swimmer. His name was Mike. I know it all. I remember it all. She came with me and she sat in the middle of us, and then she sat next to me so I can sit in next to him. Um, and she unfortunately passed in a car accident from a drunk driver. So this was a very young thing that I went through at a very young age. And then, I developed a lot of trust issues. I developed a lot of trust issues with people. I don't let people in. I have people in my life that are, my husband explains it, that are basically begging to be in my life, but I'm terrified of getting hurt. I'm terrified of letting anybody in. My other best friend that I had was very incredibly toxic. It actually became even abusive. And so, where I was getting physically harmed. And so, for me, having a best friend is not, it's not that, it's not that common because I don't let people in. And so when I met this best friend, I just completely just lost it in the best way possible. I mean, we understood each other. We had the same sense of humor. We loved the same things. Pop culture was our thing, we both loved Trisha Paytas. I mean, it was so it was so many things that we shared, just we were different, but we were so alike as well. Uh I think what I want to make clear is the following. I am gonna continue to talk about this in my members only because I feel like it is a safer place. And don't get me wrong, 90% of you guys are amazing, but there are just some really not great comments and messages that I'm receiving, even emails that I'm receiving about this, where I am just kind of, I'm not gonna allow that. I'm putting my foot up or whatever it's called. I'm not going to allow it. So I want to talk about this because again, I've been holding this in for so long and I have been not dealing with it. I have never dealt with it. And so, for me it was time because my aunt's passing just kind of woke it in me, and I need to talk about it. I need to talk about my best friend's missing present and how it has affected me. The family and we are not in communication right now. I know that if there were any updates, I would be told. And to be very honest, I am very scared of any updates. I'm very terrified. It's something that's something that haunts me. I don't want to get a call saying that my friend is no longer here. Um, I will say this, my best friend once told me that um I know that there was a lot going on. I know that there was a lot in her mind. Um and I wouldn't be surprised if she up and just left and moved somewhere and, deleted everyone. From her life. But one day we're together, the next I never hear from her again. Never answered my messages. And then after a couple of years, I just stopped. And last time I heard from her, I think it was like 2 years ago, um, where she sent me a happy birthday message, which really, or was it 3 years ago? I think it's 2 or 3 years ago. I have to check my messages, but I know it was a while ago. And that was the first time I'd heard from her, and then it just went silent again. Um, I am going to talk about it with the utmost respect. I'm going to be as respectful as possible. But for those asking, like, do I want to talk to the forensics and all these things? I'm not going to overstep I'm not going to overstep. I'm not going to be disrespectful to her family. I have to trust that they know what they're doing, and I have to trust that my best friend knows that I'm always here for her. We didn't have a fight, we didn't have a fallout, we were perfect. Last time we were together was Thanksgiving. We spent the whole morning, afternoon together. I mean, it was a beautiful time we spent together. So I just want to let you know, um, you know, Boo Boo. That's what I used to call her, Boo. Um, my my life hasn't been the same since you left. I miss you every single day. You were such an important part of my life, such a support. You were so kind to my family. You were the first person that, I always told things to or brought to my new place, or, our new whatever kind of life thing that happened. You were always the first to know, because your heart and your way of being was so beautiful, is so beautiful. And just letting you know, doesn't matter if 10 years go by or 20 years go by, you can always call me. You always will have a friend in me. And I hope and pray that it's okay that I talk about this. Again, I'm not going to be revealing any kind of information, but I think for me it's important to talk about our memories and to talk about how I feel, because I never want to make it about me, but I am grieving you, and I want to talk about it. I'm done holding things in. So I want to sort of honor what we had and kind of talk through my feelings in the most respectful way possible. So I hope that clears something up. I don't even know if it fucking clears anything up, to be very honest, but I know a lot of you guys have a lot of questions. I will be, going through them little by little, but yeah, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the day she disappeared and the day that we met, and all those wonderful things over in my members only. So go to the link in the description. But I want to do it there because, again, haters are not going to be there, and I don't have to see that fucking bullshit. So I'm going to do this the right way and the most respectful way, honoring her, but also honoring myself and my feelings, because I'm done suppressing things in order to make others comfortable. I also have to put myself first sometimes, and I never do that, but now I'm going to. So, yeah, love you guys. And thank you all so much for those who care, for those who are here. I really do appreciate you, and I love you very much, okay? And little by little, we'll be talking about everything, all right? Mwah. Bye.